Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Panther Planet podcast. I am Maggie Cody. I am a JAMS major at UWM.
I'm Alyssa Fairman, and I'm a Global Management and Italian major at UWM.
I'm Jenny Davis, and I am a grad student studying translation and interpreting studies.
Today, our podcast is about cheese rolling, the cheese rolling festival at Brockworth.
I believe so.
Yes. It's Brockworth is the city, yes.
Yes.
But Gloucestershire?
Yes, I believe it's the region. I think it's called the Coppers Hill Cheese Roll and Wake.
Yes, exactly.
And wake, as in like when people die, there's a wake?
I do believe.
Are people dying in this?
There have been no casualties yet, but we will definitely get into that.
But to set the scene for you, the Coppers Hill Cheese Roll and Wake, simply speaking, is a bunch of people racing down a steep incline after a wheel of cheese. It's easier said than done, though. The Coppers Hill Cheese Roll is held annually at Coppers Hill near Brockworth, Gloucestershire.
Yeah.
I think it's probably Gloucestershire, because they usually get rid of that middle C-E.
Okay.
Gloucestershire.
Yeah.
Sorry for pronunciation.
Yeah.
But Coppers Hill has a near vertical with a 1 to 2 gradient and is 200 yards long. To start the game, the master of ceremony will shout 1 to be ready, 2 to be steady, 3 to prepare, and 4 to be off. And after the countdown, all of the contestants hurl themselves down this hill after the rolling cheese. The cheese can reach speeds of up to 70 miles per hour, and contestants run down the hill. The first runner to the bottom wins and gets the cheese as the prize. The first person to cross the line is crowned the winner. And it's originally the aim was to catch the cheese. However, that turned out to be really difficult, and it would gain speeds and even injure people on the sidelines. So it is now just the first person to the bottom of the hill wins.
Okay.
Well, I feel like if a person was to fall down a hill at 70 miles per hour, because that's how fast the cheese goes, I think that would be life-threatening.
Yeah.
For sure.
Probably.
Sure. I mean, imagine a car accident that fast.
I think that it's supposed to be like the contestants started out before the cheese, and then it rolled down, and they were supposed to catch it as they were running down, and that turned out to be pretty dangerous. So they stopped doing that.
Imagine it just nailing you.
Yeah,
How heavy is the
seriously.
cheese?
I believe it says it's between 7 and 8 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 3 to 4 kilograms, but I am really bad at the conversion.
Okay.
So I did look up the conversion when we were doing it yesterday. I just need to find it really quickly.
We'll get into it.
Yeah,
we'll get into it.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
So the history of the cheese rolling, because you're probably wondering how did this come to be, is that cheese rolling is one of the oldest customs to survive in Great Britain. It has been going on for hundreds of years, and some say it has roots in Roman times. The Romans had established a fort on the top of Coppers Hill, and allegedly they also sent objects down the hill.
Isn't it Cooper's Hill?
Coopers?
Coopers?
Cooper?
Yeah,
Cooper's
probably.
Hill.
Okay. Another theory is that the cheese race evolved from, to get the rights to graze on, the land below.
Okay.
And you would just race for the cheese to get the rights. But the exact origin obviously isn't known, but they do believe that the earliest record goes back to 1862, and the tradition, they say, goes as far back as ancient Roman times, but they credit the Romans as the first people to send the objects down the steep slope. But in practice, it is believed to also have roots in pagan rituals.
Okay.
And so it is thought that the bundles of burning brushwood would be rolled down the hill to represent the birth of the new year after the winter.
Interesting. So wait, they're left over, winter brush, it was, ceremonial kind of a thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming brushwood is what you use to, start fire.
Right.
Yeah,
and they're
probably.
like burning it all.
Let's
because they
like
don't need it
burn
anymore.
it and
Yes.
throw it down the hill.
Yes,
Symbolically,
exactly.
we're done with this.
Yeah, we're done with it. Is no longer winter. But there's also a theory that this still the line where they like scattered the brushwood like is the line that is now the where they like cross the finish line.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah.
Nice.
But also at the top of the hill there's still existing like buns and biscuits and sweets for like people to eat. And the Masters of Ceremonies executes this fertility rite to encourage like fruits for harvest.
Or does that still
Okay.
take place, or was that more like of the history?
I believe it still takes place.
Oh,
Oh, so they're
interesting.
getting like everything.
Yeah, but it's.
agricultural
I was
wrapped
gonna
up in
say
this.
that's I
Yeah.
think what it was more significant towards, but now it's just turned into like a place for, like there's just like a whole bunch of food.
Yeah. Okay.
For you to have, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But yeah, so it initially took place on Whit Monday, which I didn't know what that was, but it's Pentecost Monday, which is also known as the Monday of the Holy Spirit and is a holiday celebrated after Pentecost each year. But it's now transferred to Spring Bank Holiday, which I also didn't know what that was. So
Okay.
the Spring Bank Holiday, also known as the Late May Bank Holiday, is a time for people in the United Kingdom to have a day off of work and school. And this year it will be
heck yeah.
held on Monday, May 29th.
I wish we had bank holidays.
I
was
know.
just
Because
gonna
I've like heard of them, and it's just like a day off of work, and
Yeah.
they just do whatever.
Seriously. Not to mention, you conveniently can go to this festival. on
Yeah,
that day.
exactly.
But according to the organizers, the grounds of Cooper's Hill accommodate a maximum of 5,000 participants. And one year there was 15,000 visitors
What?
that came in 2009, and they had to cancel it due to safety concerns the next year.
Okay.
And since then, it has been completely volunteer run, in spite of numerous warnings from the city council and the local police not to attend the event. And since 2011, it has been taking place every year, except it was canceled in 2020 and 2021 because of COVID.
Okay.
And also, fun fact, during the Second World War, when rationing was being used, so for this event, they had to get like special permission from the government to be able to use cheese to put in it.
Mm-hmm.
And they made a big wooden case and put a little piece of cheese in the middle for people to win it as like the event
Okay.
That's
prize.
golden.
Yeah. But to get
So
in
symbolic.
yeah, a little bit more about like what this cheese is and like why it's so special that people run down a hill for it. It's actually like a very special cheese that is only made by like a local person. Her name is Mrs. Smart. She's been the only person to make the cheese for the competition since 1988. And each cheese is protected by like a wooden case around it, and it has ribbons. At the start of the race, they like decorate it with ribbons.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, and it's originally around 3 to 4 kilograms, which is about 9 pounds.
Oh. Okay.
And it's called the
That's
double.
heavy.
Yeah, that's a heavy piece of cheese. And it's called the double Gloucester. Yeah, and it's a hard cheese that's traditionally made in like that circle shape, which makes it perfect for rolling down the hill.
That's like a bowling ball, like 9
Yeah.
pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that would be
coming down.
super dangerous coming down at 7
Yeah.
miles per hour.
It's rolling like a wheel. Crazy.
But it comes from like their local cows, obviously, and it's like Britain's specialty, like oldest breed of cow.
I want to meet one of the cows.
Yeah,
I know. I wonder if they're like brown.
I know.
or-
I wonder if they're fluffy cows.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like they would be
Oh,
fluffy
one
cows.
of those like yeah.
But she uses the milk from like those special cows in order to make the cheese, and it uses like the traditional cheese making methods. And in 2013, oh my goodness,
Okay,
that's a
Maggie's
big cow.
got a picture of the cow.
I
Yeah.
got a picture of
Hold
the
up.
cows up for you. They have horns.
Yeah,
They're,
they
like,
look
big.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Just like cheese rolling.
mostly black. Look
Um,
intimidating. Sorry to
No,
interrupt
you're
you,
totally
that was rude.
fine. But In 2013, the police warned that if, her name is Diana Smart, Mrs. Smart, that if anyone was going to get hurt from this race, it was going to be her responsibility. So then they started putting a foam cheese in 2014 instead, just because she didn't want to get like in trouble with the local police. But it since then has gone back to being an actual cheese.
Okay.
They scared her.
Yeah, they did. They scared her.
We're gonna put you in jail if anyone gets hurt.
Yeah.
Yes. But she did pass, unfortunately, prior to the pandemic, and now her son, Rod Smart, has taken over for her. So that's a little sad news.
Yeah. Well, darn. They scared her too much.
Yes.
Anyways, so there are, like, obviously rules for this race. It's not just... Okay,
Free
honestly,
for all?
there aren't many rules for this race. But there's always 4 races, and they have 14 racers in each one. Although every year there tends to be more people than that show up, so they have more heats of races.
Okay.
But there's generally 3 races for men, 1 for women, 14 racers each. You don't really need to meet any criteria. It's literally you show up, you sign like a waiver or something like that, and you just go, you find yourself at the top of the hill at the beginning of your race, and you just go for it. Yeah, and like she said earlier, you win the race by reaching at the bottom first. So this is actually a really dangerous sport. It's actually called a sport, which is really interesting.
Okay.
Like she said before, it has a 50% gradient, meaning like every 2 feet it goes across, it goes down 1 foot. So if you just want to like...
Yeah, picture that.
Yeah.
We do have a picture. I think we're going to post the picture of like on like the below part of the people like running down like the hill.
That's a crazy picture.
Yeah, it just like shows how steep the hill is. And then we also, for your enjoyment, have
a slow-mo video.
Yeah, of people doing the cheese run.
Exactly. It gets pretty ruthless out there.
It does.
Just for starters, I feel there's a lot of... Okay, so there's a seasoned pro. His name's Chris Anderson. He's won this cheese race like 22 times.
What?
Yeah, literally 22 times. He got 22 9-pound blocks of cheese.
Yeah, that's insane.
How do you even eat all that cheese? Like, that's so much cheese.
You give it to all your friends.
All your friends and family.
You have your Christmas gift now.
Yeah.
You have a big cheese party every year.
Why not? I mean, you could have grilled cheese for the rest of your life, I feel like. For at least 2 years.
Yes.
At least 2 years. Without being unhealthy about it. But yeah, but like, that doesn't come without its wear and tear. Like, he's broke his ankle, he wasn't even doing the race thing. He broke his ankle celebrating winning the cheese rolling. And then in 2011, he bruised his kidneys. In 2007, he struck his head and blacked out. He literally won the race unconscious because he was just rolling down the hill.
Is it worth it for the cheese? I mean...
I know, and that's what a lot of people debate. There's a lot of debate online, like, is it stupid? Is it too dangerous to even do? Just because, yeah.
I mean, I feel like one injury is like, okay, it happens, but like bruise your kidneys, how do you bruise your kidneys?
Yeah.
And then like black out, go unconscious. At that point, it's like, okay.
I'm not even done yet. In 2018, he literally tore his calf muscle.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Like during the race.
Ouch.
Intense. That's like tearing any muscle. Like that's awful.
Yeah, that's ouch.
Yeah, that's painful.
But yeah, I guess normal injuries include, but are not limited to. What's that?
No, just imagine having to tell someone how you incurred that injury.
Falling down a hill after
some cheese. Yeah, how'd you bruise your kidneys?
Yeah, you come back to work.
It's all for the culture.
Yeah,
you gotta do it.
It's for the cheese.
I won this cheese, so don't even get me started.
The prize is worth the suffering. But yeah, that's how dangerous it can be sometimes. Like, normal participants who aren't probably going as hard as Chris Anderson still like come out of it with a lot of bruises, broken bones, chipped teeth, pulled muscles, concussions, like, you name it. You're just like a rag doll down this hill.
Yes.
But today, so kind of backtracking, Brockworth, Gloucestershire is a rural village that has about 9,400 people living there. It's not really known for anything other than this cheese festival.
Okay.
It's a very rural community. It has a couple airports and just aerospace engineering like factories kind of a thing, where because it's easy to make aircrafts out there where
there's
you
a
have
lot of
open
land.
space. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, Brockworth, at least from my Google search, isn't all that notable. I'm sure if you go there, it's awesome.
Picturesque.
Yeah,
and-
exactly. Because if it's rural, it's got to have
Definitely.
that opening.
I picture like all the rolling hills they
Yes.
have in the UK. And
Clearly. I mean, look at
Cows.
this hill.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it became popular, I believe, just because of its novelty. I mean, who wouldn't be interested
Yeah.
when you said
Yeah.
there's a sport about chasing cheese down a hill?
Yeah, I'm interested.
I'm also astounded by the fact it's considered a sport.
Yes.
Yeah, not just like a game or just an event or
Yeah,
something, but it's like a
seriously.
full sport.
I think you
Yeah.
could even consider it maybe like a festival.
Oh,
Because,
for
like,
sure.
Yeah, probably.
It has one main event every year. Like,
Yes. And there's food.
Yeah, I mean, do people practice?
Yeah,
Do you
I
go
don't
to the
know.
hill like
Yeah.
a couple times a year because you have to recover from it, but you just time yourself. How fast can you do it? But yeah, like a lot of people show up for this festival. It's popular probably because of the internet. Just the videos of it are just
Yeah.
hilarious. That'll get some views. And you know, who wouldn't want to? There have been winners from the United States, Nepal, Australia, New Zealand. So it's obviously not just like a local festival at all.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's bizarre. It has novelty. There's even a Netflix documentary episode about it. It's like 30 minutes, so if you really want to deep dive into it, not plugging it, but it is on there. But yeah, that's all we really had on cheese rolling.
It's a cool festival.
So cool.
Yeah.
So unique. Like what? Like what?
Yeah,
The
also-
fact it's been around for so long as well.
Exactly. It just has like and such an unknown like mysterious history to it too, which makes
Yeah.
it like
Mhm.
even more fun.
Seriously.
I also like though how it's really unique, but it's also just kind of human nature to be like, look, a hill, let's throw something down
Yes.
it.
So true.
And chase after it.
Can we do it?
Definitely. Plus, it's interesting, like, how much of, like, an arena of Bullet has, like, gathered now. Like,
I
they
know.
described it. Also, I was reading something about how it was, like, the Coliseum for, like, this tiny town. Because they could, like, be like, go chase the cheese! And, like chase other people on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
go and get it. And so it was, like, provide entertainment for themselves, too.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, not to mention, double Gloucester cheese used to be so expensive, too, like, back when this, like, all began. Like, it was the equivalent of, like, $240
What?
today. Yeah.
That's some expensive cheese. I really want to try it now.
I know.
I want to see if
Now it's, like, $10 to $12 for a pound, so it'd be, like,
Okay.
a little less expensive. But, I mean,
but still.
$240?
That's
I would
also
take
just-
that any day. I would
Yeah.
chase that cheese.
I would chase that cheese for
Yeah.
sure.
Because you could end up selling it, or...
For sure. Or in theory, probably the people who are doing it are not like the people that can afford a 240 pound of
Yeah.
cheese. So
Well,
they'll
yeah.
probably like eat it for a year.
Yeah, like you
Yeah,
said, it
that'll
was for,
feed
like,
'em.
land rights, correct?
Yeah.
So-
yeah, that was like one of the things that they like rolled it down for.
You
Yeah.
get an extra bonus and land rights.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's worth it. Land rights.
for sure.
But just the cheese, it's like, well,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
Depends on how bad of a situation you're in. Like,
So
it's either
true.
I roll down this hill and get this cheese or I starve today. And then
Yes.
you're like, let's do it.
I'm rolling.
I might as well try.
Yeah.